The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome back to Sports Collective TV, where we host our sports show every Mondays at 5. You can definitely tune in at 323-293-3375. Now I'm handed off to my man off here.
Phone number, man.
Call in.
Yes,
my bad. Thank you, Callie.
Hey,
thanks, Callie.
Tune into a phone number.
Tune in live.
Excellent. You want to take this off?
Facts on your calculator. I mean, you know.
After the heckling is done. Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator. I'm
I don't
Ferran,
think it's done, though.
a.k.a.
I don't think it's done.
This is how we always start this dang show, huh?
I look forward to this.
It's been like this for the past 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I
This
didn't
is-
get a chance to see it, but
Yeah.
it happens back here.
We tone it down as soon as the mics
No,
go
you
on.
don't.
No, it actually looks higher.
Oh, you think
Higher,
so?
yeah.
I feel like the best stuff is after the show.
It
or
is
before.
the best.
Hey, so I see Fredo doing some really nice marketing for the Alert show.
Alert.
So with the
Very
football
beautiful.
season coming up,
Yeah.
be kind of interesting what short topics you could come up with that can be make that whole piece happen. So stay tuned.
Definitely. That's
Fact.
coming later.
Al.
Shout out to Fredo as well for putting that video together. You guys are going to see that later on in the
Problemo.
show.
Boom.
Great editing, man. Got to give you props for
Thank
that.
you,
And you guys will
appreciate
see that later on.
Make sure you go to the social media, Sports Collective Media on Instagram, and you find all the different highlights for what's coming up for the show today.
That's right.
Before I pass the mic, I got to make this statement. We have a PSA that's coming up for a case study for sickle cell trait awareness. So if you out there and you're a listener and you have sickle cell trait, you know someone in your family that has this inherited gene, please reach out to the SCT study-GGG at usuhs.edu. You can go to my website at wdconsct.org. They're doing a case study from ages 18 to 80 if you're African American. What they're doing is they're trying to find out what's causing these athletes and people like myself to have sickle cell trait exertion. So, you say you want to help, this cause and you want to help out people, people save lives and things like that. So we need you to participate in the study, especially if you're a trait carrier. So please make sure you go to the website and check that out. The PSA will be playing out throughout the show here. Again, if it applies to you, you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Twitter, Instagram is at IMWDC. So I got to make that statement because this is personal. It's very important. So
Make that happen. Be a part of it.
make it happen.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Rams supporting.
I'll be touching me, but just move back.
I wanted to know how you felt about the male cheerleaders,
Yeah, I'm
though.
saying, but hey,
wait.
that
No,
was-
I
that
know.
was-
I
that
the Raiders
was-
thing going
But the
on.
thing is, somebody's looking down upon us. Mm-hmm. This is like the first time he got on like Lakers. I mean,
He's got his daughter
Dodgers.
stuff. He got
You know what I'm saying?
keychain going on and stuff. We all got our own sports team.
Okay,
I'm surprised he's not wearing a
Dodgers.
Pistons
But he got
jersey or
Converse on.
something.
He got Converse.
I'm looking to
Oh,
get
there you
Converse.
He got Converse.
Shout him out.
Shout him out.
what's
So,
Is that Chuck? What's wrong?
What's
Something's
wrong,
with the shirt? Something's wrong with the shirt.
So where you
not
see you
good.
guys going as the Rams look so fabulous this weekend?
Oh, yeah, you're talking about that. Okay. Look, man, it's the preseason. Preseason isn't regular season. We'll see what happens in the
And
regular
that's something
I feel
I
like
would say
LA
as a
is going
Raider
to
who
do
lost.
better than Oakland this year, and I'm pretty confident about
I
that.
want to compare to
I mean,
Oakland, but let's
I'm
look
just
at where they
saying.
at on the West. Seattle, no contest, right?
No.
No.
San Francisco, not yet.
San Francisco,
Not yet.
Maybe they got
They
Garoppolo.
could-
The way Garoppolo
They
come
got
about.
Sherman now
as
too,
well.
but they're still in the rebuilding phase, so it's
Yeah.
going to take a while for them to really be contenders.
That's what I do. I just get things started. Go ahead. So finish on that.
Well, I mean, the Rams are actually, I think they're going to be a pretty good team this year.
I mean, they were under a lot of like hype, and they had the spotlight on them last year and everything, and people were expecting them to really be good, and they didn't have the whole roster together yet the way they needed to go deep in the playoffs. You saw against the Falcons.
What was it?
The second game, they just didn't have what it took. But this offseason, they made some big moves, man. Some like eye catchers and everything.
Moves.
So
I'm even scared of you guys, man.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this season with the hype,
Viking, I'm scared of.
And the
Rams.
thing is, I want them to win while they're still in the Coliseum before they move on over to the new stadium. I feel like that would bring some history.
He don't want you guys to win there, right?
No, he doesn't. He wants us to suck.
Well, no, it's not even so much that. It's
you want the Chargers to win?
Football team stadium. So it's like, you want to winning something kind of real. I mean, I was when the Cardinals. I was in Arizona when the Cardinals were still playing at ASU. So it's like you're an NFL team and you're playing at a college. It's not really representing the sport wholeheartedly. That's kind of how I look at it. So I would rather see the Rams win one once they get. But that's a stretch.
To open them up in the new season. Yeah, that's true. That's
2 years, that's a stretch. I think right now they got the talent to pull it off and have a good season.
I'm just glad we're not playing at the StubHub Center right now.
That's a very small.
I'd rather be at the Coliseum on King than at the Chargers.
That whole piece there goes, to been at those games, it's like...
Never been there,
but you know what? The Chargers
ain't no sellout.
Are getting slept on, I feel like. I feel like the Chargers have improved this offseason. They have some young, good players, and they could make some noise, too. Now, they're still second fiddle in L.A., but I feel like the Chargers can surprise some people this year.
We're going to have to save that for your segment.
I mean, the Lions, I don't know where they're going.
We're going to save this conversation for that, and especially at the bottom of the hour, the Truth will be back with some more highlights, especially over the NFL topics and things like that. So we're going to take our first break, bring up our guests here, and before we go to that break, so I mentioned about the PSA, right? So if you check the social media, there's Taven Jackson, who was a 3-star player going to college, transferred to USC, and was denied or disqualified from now playing football in college because of having issues with his sickle cell. So USC is going to honor his scholarship, but he cannot play football for USC because of his health issues connected to sickle cell trait. So that case study that I mentioned to you at the beginning, please, if you can participate that, if it impacts you or if it's something that you can relate to, the discrimination. I'm not going to say this discrimination because what's the value of life? He's a football player. He wants to play that game, but if his health doesn't allow that, how do you manage that? So,
but the other piece too is that the kudos on that is that they're still giving the student athlete the opportunity to still continue to be a student and have some of that monetized. So that's still
but what are the scholarships? Year to year?
Well, scholarships are year to year if you're a student athlete or not.
Right.
It's based on your grades and performance, so you still have to perform.
So they're going to honor him to be there for this.
Well, it's year to year. I mean, if he holds up to a C average or whatever and does his part, then he'll continue to have that scholarship probably for his whole term.
And that's nice of USC to still continue to do that. And
any other people would have just been like, no.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the other piece on that, and not to take anything further, is that you get a lot of these athletes that have these type of scholarships, and Shireen could probably contest too, that when they get injured, then everything kind of goes away.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the kids that end up on the Drew leagues and the LABC leagues and, junior colleges and things of that sort. So it's kind of interesting how those scholarships work.
Yeah, so I was able to reach out to him on the messenger, so I'm waiting for a response from him to find out exactly if he's open to share about that. So I'll get back to you guys on that topic later. Again, Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan. Shout us out. What's the count?
Yeah, truly.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Hey, I'm Sergeant First Class Ferran Dozier. I'm here at the military base, and I have the sickle cell trait. Now, why I got involved is I experienced what they call sickle cell trait exertion. And I was doing the Army physical fitness test, the 2-mile run, and when I got done, I collapsed. A lot of soldiers and athletes have been dying at football fields and running track, and the family members have no idea that they have the sickle cell trait gene or that it's a trigger. So my purpose is to mobilize the community so we can find out what's in your genes. How will life be if we could prevent another child from being born with sickle cell trait or disease? And if a child was born with the trait or disease, that the family members would have the education, awareness, and resources in every city that they lived in. So tune into our webinar series and find out what's the count.
What's the count? What's the count? What's the count?
All right, welcome back to Sports Love TV. We got a video that we're going to play of our guest here. Shireen, you want to introduce?
Yes, this is the 2018 Drew League champ, Mark Wilson.
All right, so here we go.
Oh, not that one.
No, this was the other one.
Oh, well.
All right, so
that's why we call it live TV.
Yeah, so that's live.
That's
We're gonna make sure. But go ahead, Shireen. Go ahead.
All right, so Redemption won the 2018 Drew League championship, and we're all excited in the peanut gallery out there, right? We all went to the Drew League, and a lot of NBA players were there, and they were all gone for the most part, except for a few former ones who was Big Baby Davis. You're playing against Nationwide Soldiers was the other team.
Nationwide. Shout outs to them, man. They play hard.
Play their hearts out.
Yeah, they did.
Jordan Mays is on that team. Katino Mobley. They took time away from their big three league to come and play Mark, who decided to turn on the afterburners in the finals.
Yeah, put on the burners for him, my man.
What's up with that, man?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get this video up here, man. The shot was wide open, man. What was going through your mind?
So
man?
Going through my mind?
Yeah.
I was trying to run the play. The coach said, hey, let's get the ball to the big man. He's been unstoppable for the last 3 possessions. I was like, all right. I'm just going ahead, be a soldier, pass the ball in. And as I kept looking to see if the ball would ever, make it there, I just noticed that he was too far back. So I took one dribble and just rose up. And I let it go. And then the rest
is veins.
The rest is his story right there.
But that wasn't just the only thing that happened, because you didn't just shoot a three. You had the Mamba whispering in your ear almost standing.
Man. Yeah.
Kobe Bryant in the front row watching Mark. He's got the ball.
Yeah, he was watching me. He kind of calmed me down midway in the fourth quarter, because he saw me playing like a little bit faster than others, and he was like, "If you just slow down, you gonna shine.
You'll be all right."
Really? Right. That's something I didn't know. So he was coaching you through the game?
Yeah, he could tell I was like kind of nervous a little bit. And Scottie Pippen sitting courtside.
Scottie Pippen, two NBA champions,
2 Hall of Famers sitting on the courtside watching you play. It's kind of like, oh wow, this is crazy.
He's all mellow, but he's like, oh, wow.
Honestly, when you see the play, I mean, he just pulls up, shoots his three, goes in, and points at Kobe as he's backpedaling to the other side of the court. Yeah. Kobe's smiling, this big smile. That must have been one hell of a moment.
One moment I would never forget in my life. That right there, that's something I would never forget.
That memorable.
That's
history.
That's historic in my book. Maybe not to others, but in mine, yes.
So you can be on the bench and maybe not use most of the season, and then somebody puts you in at the last minute, finally plays you in the playoffs, and they go all the way to the finals. Redemption wasn't supposed to go all the way in the finals. What was your seed?
We were at number 5.
Really?
The 5 seed, the 1 seeds were gone.
LA Unified got knocked out first round.
That's right.
James Harden's team.
And the most hated players got knocked out. That was Nick Young, DeMar DeRozan, and Jordan Clarkson. And Birdie's Revenge, of course, lost by 2 points in a big controversial game. So the champs. And then next year, they put the banner up with the name of the team, and Mark's name will be there all season long.
All season long, man. Trust me.
So what's next, man? What's next?
He's looking at me. All right, so Mercury is out of retrograde. So what that means is all the contracts can now be signed. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Did you know
Elaborate on that.
So when Mercury looks like it's going in the opposite direction, a lot of communications aren't working, and a lot of people adhere to this phenomenon. But as of yesterday, that ended. It was like a 10-day sprint where Mercury is going in the opposite direction, and the energies of the universe don't allow you to communicate well, and you get in car accidents and things like that. But when everything aligns, then contracts can be signed, and there's a lot of hoopers out there. It's not just Mark. There's a lot of really good hoopers out there who are just waiting to sign contracts. And I think this season, a lot of the overseas coaches and GMs, they're holding out. And I've been hearing this. They're holding out to see who they can get, and they don't want to pay a lot of money, so they're going to, there's a whole influx of talent out there. So we just heard there's a bunch of jobs opening up in Kosovo and some other places, and so we are on it.
You ready to travel?
Hey, I got to learn how to eat new foods.
You go anywhere there?
Even where that bag is. Where's the bag? I'll go get it.
Callie, I know you got something over there.
No, it's just I always just look at the whole leagues itself. I mean, Drew League, I can kind of feel what he's saying. It's like that's kind of like a moment where, I mean, you're just part of an interesting culture with basketball when it comes to Drew League. Like now, like somebody like Kobe's retired, or like you said, a Scottie Pippen that's sitting, courtside, and watching these guys. Their path wasn't their path, and still to have that aspiration to see you guys want to get it, to come over in your ear to say, look, man, calm down, you're playing a little fast, you're going to get extra buckets, because you also, it makes so much sense with Kobe, because he's all about how many possessions I can get, how many dribbles I can get up the court, or less dribbles I can get up the court to be able to score. Yeah. So what he's saying just kind of makes a sense of just the whole IQ of a Kobe type of player,
right,
I'm saying? So, and that's just like immortal, man. You take hold of that. That's sports is just so at the moment at times. It's like you don't get to repeat it. So you'll never have that same game. You'll dream about it. You'll always want it. But it's that's the greatest thing about basketball. And I like to just kind of see in your thoughts, like the guys are just really out there that's saying, man, ain't not gonna happen. What do you say to those guys when you don't really see that much of that culture that more? It's more that you guys are so hungry to play now.
I mean, you see those guys a lot, though. They're still out there. Literally.
Just giving up.
Yeah. 24, I go there right now. One guy I play with, he'd be like, man, I want to play, but, man, it's whatever. Like, I'm like, I don't know.
Cause I'm in the Drew League, fool.
Yeah,
Where you
I'm playing right now, man. It's like people be getting contracts. People get they get to go places, man. It's just not about.
You got to be in action, like you said. Opportunity. You got to be out there in order to get that opportunity.
Scared of the opportunity, so they have that negative perception of it.
Or they've been told they have to make so many bands. If they don't make 5 bands, they don't make 10 bands, they're not worth it. But if you go out to Europe and you're only making 1 band or 2 bands, but everything else is paid, then go and play, because guess what? Next year you're in the
come with the swag.
You go up to the next division. What you want to do is go to Europe and try to get up the divisions, or you want to go to the Middle East.
Stacks.
Even though
can we say stacks too?
Stacks.
Yeah,
stacks and bands.
Stacks and bands.
Well, I'm trying to. I'm speaking the lingo. I mean,
in basketball.
I talk to a lot of hoopers, and I know how they talk, and they talk about the bands.
You gotta have a band.
But Shireen, if they're not paying me $10 10 bands, I'm not going like 10 bands.
You better take these 2.
And that's a month.
That's all you're going to get.
But a lot of people don't take that into consideration. Like if you getting 2 bands and your all expenses is paid and you got living quarters, you better take that 2 bands and enjoy it and make the best time of it, because you never know what the next opportunity is going to be.
There are leagues though, like the NBLC. They'll pay you in Canadian dollars and then they'll tax you. Right?
Which
so
is
2,000 becomes 1,600.
Yeah.
Then they tax you 35-40%. Now you're down to like what, 1,100, 1,200. I don't know. I'm not doing the math right. But then they don't pay you for food, so all your food comes out of that. Now that's different than going to Italy. They pay you $1,500 a month, but they pay all your food, all your transportation, all your lodging, all your recovery.
And
I mean, you want to make sure
gear.
you get all that stuff in there.
And gear.
Get you some nice
You
gear.
mentioned something earlier about the mindset of some people. And some people do have a fear of success. Mm-hmm. Like they go right to the edge, but it's like
you get right here,
self-sabotage it, so you don't get it.
So,
exactly. What do you think? What do you think that is?
Because you're scared of losing it once you get it.
Yeah.
So once you get it and you lose it, you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
A lot of it is like you got to fail to win. I mean, you probably learn more from the games you lost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Either just from an IQ standpoint or just be physical, because you'll reflect that even to maybe like, man, I ate the wrong food, and it could be something real simple, or, I was shooting outside, the wind factor there is different when shooting inside. Mm-hmm. All those elements come to play, but the great thing about basketball versus football is you have it's that competitive spirit of always trying to figure out how to get better and better and better and better. And these guys in the situation, the better you are, the more is expected. Then you got to look at all the other little pieces like your nutrition, what you're eating, what your workout plan is. It's like a full-time job.
And you got to be able to keep that spot on the squad eating.
What a mental.
And you have to be able to get a day job until the next basketball job, and that all that is a struggle because you're trying to train. Everybody's doing the runs at 3:00, and you're out, doing trucking or whatever just to make some bills, but your passion's on the court. And I see this in a lot of these players, and I just want to help if I, whatever I can do, I want to just help.
House.
Yeah, but you can I hate this cliche. They say, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. But still, like I said, I agree with you more that there is something in the way of that person that's like, I want it, but I don't want it because I don't want to take the risk. A lot of people don't take risk anymore either. That's a whole...
And some people don't give up. Like I saw Derek Character the other day. He was tweeting out, look, I'm 30, but I'm not giving up my dream. Yeah. And I'm still working hard, and I'm still playing hard, and maybe it's not going to be the NBA, but I still want to play, and... I mean, what is 6'9", 270 pounds?
Nitty
on, and he was like, I don't care about playing in the NBA. So some people, depending on what you're chasing,
it's just the game itself. That's the whole center magic when it comes to being a basketball player. It's like, we could be playing with some aluminum foil in a basket.
You ain't lying. Where's it at?
Where's it at? And it's had the same competitive spirit as a 1-on-1 or a 21. Or I was listening to this dude in the Bay Area. Shouts out to the Bay. He was like, "Yeah, we didn't play 20-way, and we played 102." I was like, "Wow, 102! Y'all niggas was really puffing y'all color in the Bay." That's a long ass game, 102. Yeah, but that's just the competitive sport of basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of people out there.
21, that's about it. You ever heard of 32?
Some guys play 32.
Yeah. But 102? They like, nigga, we was balling. Y'all was tired. Beat up and tired.
So what's the rest of the year gonna look like for you besides trying to get with them bands?
Them bands.
Yeah, what's up
we're gonna get him some bands.
Man, just being a dad.
Yeah.
That's all. You had 3 little girls.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're gonna invite you to stay on the deck here as we continue the show, man. So we want some more of your insight and your input.
Okay.
All right. So
again,
just
like Kobe, you have 3 little girls.
Man.
Just need some Kobe bread.
I'm missing that Kobe Orange County house.
All right, so this is Sports Collective TV. We want to take a quick break. And did we get the video? Is the video? Yeah, okay, so we're going to play.
We're
going to play before we go to break.
Yeah, we play it.
We finally got it situated. Shouts out to Morris Media.
Put his hands on the net like that.
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your health care. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
All right, welcome back to Sports Collective TV. I'm your host and moderator, Farhan, a.k.a. WDC. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, @IamWDC, and all the social media platforms at Sports Collective Media. Hey, down in front. Down in front. Yeah. All right, so
Kobe, be quiet.
As you can see, we having popcorn.
Yeah.
Right? We having popcorn live
for a movie.
And you see the man next to me with the Cali Sportsman.
The black KFC.
Cali Sportsman said the black KFC's in the building.
We got the black KFC in the building.
Oh, man.
My boy from Rutgers, boy, through the Rutgers Park.
Introduce yourself, sir. You're no stranger with us, but introduce yourself to the new Morris
thanks.
Media
My
Live
name is Reginald Davin, and I am from New York City.
New York?
And I'm here, gratefully.
Can I wear your hat?
Because
Can I wear
no,
your
you
hat?
cannot wear my hat, man.
Okay, wear your hat. All right.
I'm here. This is my second time on the show, and I really am grateful to be back to talk about the chess club and the chess organization that I started in 2007, actually, and how successful the show has been. The organization has been, and that what I'm currently doing here in Los Angeles, California.
So right, great. So you right here in Leimert Park area,
yeah,
right
here.
And we eating this popcorn,
right?
So when we first met, he did jingles, right?
Yeah.
Can you give me a jingle real quick? Can you give me something right off the cuff?
Go for it.
Something just because you got multi talents. Can we get something off the cuff?
Drop it.
Come on, you got something.
3,
go on and hit it.
2,
I can't.
1.
Come on,
go.
Come on, man.
Why don't we play one of my jingles or something? I can't.
This is live TV.
All right. They
got me on the spot.
In the back, man.
He ain't ready.
No, not with the jingle.
So we make the popcorn. Well, you can do.
You talking with food?
You see?
Right. That's how good the popcorn is.
All right, it's pretty good. Thank
food
you.
critic eats with. You ever watch that show? Or the food critic?
Well, let me real quickly.
Let me since I'm moderating this. Hold on. So,
Connect corn.
So, please let us explain how chess, right, relates to life, because that's what you're pretty much teaching these youth. Right?
Yeah.
So explain
what's
that
the age group?
Can be.
Well, it varies. It varies.
Can you just eat your
5?
popcorn?
What's the age? What is the start with?
Well, through trial and error, I have learned to accept all people that are interested.
Me too.
And then once I get everybody together, then I start making decisions on where to place people. Because in chess, there are some people who know the game, and then there are some people who do not know the game.
So don't have actually anything to do with how old you are.
No, it's not. It's not a question about that. It's a question of, not refusing or limiting the people who might be interested in wanting to.
We say the word chess. What does chess really, really mean? Because playing chess as a kid, it was always 3-4 positions ahead of the scenario. And that's what he's getting at in regards to like how it reflects in regards to life and dealing with these kids.
Well, let me explain it this way.
Speed it
let me
up
tell you some of the things that
I'm going to wear your hat.
Just do it. Take it off.
Chess, this is one of the things I emphasize to the people that do attend. Chess is, has 3 phases to it. What we call the opening, the middle, and the end game. And I really strongly indicate that success is predicated on those same 3 principles about how we start, how we continue, and how we finish. A lot of us, how many times have we made resolutions during New Year's and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to do this.
I gave those up 8 years ago.
I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to try and continue this. And by February, we haven't, we've lost interest and sight of what we're doing. So I strongly, one of the key factors I believe can be implemented or should be implemented when you start making resolutions or commitments is to understand the importance of patience, because that is very important. If you don't have patience.
So with that being said, when working with kids that have these ADDH and, it is a game of patience. Too. You have to have a sense of patience. That's why I never was very successful at it, because my patience is horrible, just like I cut you off all the time. So how is that driven in regards to looking at the youth today, how they're driven with patience? They're not really driven with a lot of motor skills. Things are kind of technology driven.
See, but you have patience when you want to in the areas of life that you want to have it, where you're comfortable with it. But like he's saying, there may be areas in life where patience, you don't have it because you either get frustrated or something about that situation.
Let me say something in respect to that.
Let's go.
First of all, it should be clear. It's clear to me that everyone doesn't want to participate in this game. Like when I first started implementing my program, I went to juvenile halls, courts, foster homes, places that I knew or felt or believed that my organization would be appreciated. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I felt that, hey, these guys have really kind of nothing to do. You know what I mean? And by me being there on the weekends, they would participate. So I let them know from the very beginning, hey, you know what? This isn't for everybody.
Were you accepted in those organizations?
Yeah. Juvenile. So I made it clear, listen, I treat this is like an alcoholic. I want you to get an alcoholic concept. Alcoholic Anonymous works when you're ready to stop drinking. If you're not ready to stop drinking, nothing Alcoholic Anonymous can do. So I tell the kids, when you're ready, if you're ready now to want to change your life, to want to start doing something to become consistent in something, then I can help you.
So let me ask you this: so when if I'm one of those juvenile students, and you talking to me about playing chess, do you talk to me about my life to figure out how is this going to relate to me?
Yes, I do. Sometimes it's necessary. Sometimes it's necessary to talk one-on-one to certain individuals. You know what I mean? Because it's like a hands-on. By talking to them privately, sometimes they're more receptive than talking to them collectively. I've noticed over the years that people can be defensive when they're in a company. Like him.
Like him.
Yeah, exactly.
When he's in company, defensive.
So I got a 6-foot partner in here, man.
So
looking for a contract. I might have the right kind of money for.
So there are so many things that I have learned over the years in an effort to make this program work.
All right, now how the program work? Where they sign up, what they do, how many weeks, how's the whole thing work?
Okay, but let me tell you what I'm currently doing here in Lomert Park.
Okay.
The Hot and Cool Cafe, which is on 4331 Degnan.
Down across the street.
Yeah, across the street. Heard about my program and liked the idea and concept, so they're allowing me to put my program on in their establishment on Saturdays and Sundays from 3 o'clock to 5 o'clock.
Okay, now stop it there. This is a great commercial. You're doing really wonderful. So, what's a website, phone number, or address?
My website is, you can reach me at my, you can reach me at email. It's www.
That's not an email.
I mean,
what's the website?
Okay, let me give you the email first. ReginaldDavin@gmail.com is the Gmail, okay? The website is www.gumboacademy.org. Now, I'm going to be changing that. What? Because at one time I was...
For real?
So stupid.
Go ahead.
One time I was Gumbo... Am I on the...
Yeah, you're always on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, it's hard to tell. At one time I was Gumbo Associates.
Okay.
And through the advice of some people that were really supportive of my program, said, listen, change Associates to Academy because it sounds more educational.
Yeah.
So I am going to...
We went to an academy.
Yeah, so I'm going to...
I should go with St. Mary's Academy. That's where a lot of girls hang out. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm going to reconstruct the website so that it reads...
That's too much information. My phone is ringing.
They're asking Ilya.
AskIlya.com.
We stay working. So anyway, are we done with him right now? Or are we good? You got more stuff to talk about?
Well, I have a
go ahead.
I just want to because I've never played chess in my life. Okay. Never. Because I don't know why. But what is it about chess that intrigues people to actually play? Because to me, I'm not really like wanting to go play chess.
You don't have the patience.
I don't have the patience.
Well, let me tell you what intrigues most of the people. That after I do my presentation, I get them to understand this: that one of the things that's going to help you improve both in your life and in this game is you got to learn how to stop and think. Because there could be consequences for your actions.
Oh, Lordy Jesus, it is. My goodness.
So you need to have I have a what I call a curriculum designed solely to just get them to realize that I need to stop and think. So sometimes I put chess on the side and we get in each other's faces. And I try to show them, hey, you can't act like this. Or when somebody gets in your face, you know how to be able to stop and assess the situation instead of reacting.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, those are the things that they find important. So learning to really stop and think is the key and the fundamentals.
All right. So,
shouts out to my dad for teaching me how to play chess. And we are about due to go to Cali. Me and my dad go to Cali Island. And we go and we have breakfast, and then we take the chessboard and go sit by the water, and we play chess and have some drinks. So, shout out to my pops for teaching me how to assess my life through chess.
I'm your extended family now.
You want to go play chess?
I'm my only child. I just want to go to Catalina. I don't care about y'all playing chess.
Hey, man, thank you for coming on here.
Hey, but before you go, though, this is what I want you to do. Let me see if you can do this. Can you name each chess piece?
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Well, on the white side, you have the rook on A1, knight on A2, bishop on A3, queen on A4. On A1, king on D1, bishop on F1, knight on G1, and rook on H1. All the pawns on the white side are on the second rank, which is the B rank. I wish I had a... Well, I could actually.
Anyway, no. I just wanted to say, to see how you get down. You know, we here at Sports Collective Media, and sports is sports. You know, even we have NBA players in their future here are coming here talking about chess for kids and programs like this. And the guy makes a hell of a popcorn.
We just seen it.
You know what I'm saying? I know at one point you were doing a program where basically you was the popcorn was kind of like a fundraiser.
Yeah, the fundraiser was. Yeah, I learned this. Make some of the big people I work with entrepreneurs. We was going around making popcorn, selling it, and I had a lot of kids that were selling it on their block. They made a lot of money.
Boom. So how much you sell this for?
Just $1.
That's a free one right there.
Well, that's your free.
Shit, I wasn't paying shit.
Yeah.
You give me $2.
But the kids have had great success. I took the kids on.
I'll give you $1 back.
You know what I'm talking.
I know. See, this is the problem. So rude.
I am. I took the kids on. I took them up. Up the block, one block up, and over and back down in their neighborhood, and we sold this. And they made it. They was
packaged.
So forget the lemonade stand, popcorn man.
It's a lemonade stand.
Hey,
and I wanted to be known. I'm wearing one of my. If we can see this.
Yeah,
this is the Gumbo.
Don't fall, man. We ain't got insurance for
that. Gumbo's T-shirt that is part of the reward. After the curriculum, I give out an achievement award.
Still sit on like a phone directory when you drive.
You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that help the kids to appreciate the whole curriculum, the reward they get, the certificates.
And so what day can they come?
Yeah,
Saturday.
you can come this Saturday.
So this Saturday
This
coming up.
Saturday, that's Sunday.
Am I the
This
only
Saturday
one
at the
listening?
Hot and Cool Cafe in Leimert Park at 3 o'clock.
Is there
to 5
a
o'clock.
fee though? What's the fees?
Okay. This okay.
The
there is.
sneaky.
Sneaky. What's the fees? What's the fees?
Show up. And you got
EBT cards is welcome.
Okay, I'll just read one line. And one line it says, anyone interested in becoming a participant are asked to pay a one-time membership fee of $7 for adults and $5 for those between the ages of 12 and 18.
Don't do it.
Parents with children will only pay $5 regardless of how many children they bring if they choose to become members and take part in the learning.
So how long is the membership for? $7 for a year, or
yeah, $7 for $7.
Come on, man, that ain't even but 2 sneakers. Sneakers and a Slurpee. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm I'm kind of reasonable because I know everybody doesn't have money.
Pretty good.
I mean, so we trying to be.
Man, I like the hat. Let me wear the hat like down the street next week and see if I can find some people that want to play chess.
Thank you so much for being
Sports Collective TV. You just never know how this live TV is going to play out.
But we make it
happen.
happen.
Apologize for these
really
guys.
good.
What you apologizing for?
Man, you just interrupted the man. You interrupted.
Hey, what did we say at the beginning of the show though? It's just the beginning.
We can come back next week.
I know. And hey, way to fire back at him too. Don't let him talk.
Bring some popcorn next week.
I tell you.
All right, so we're gonna take a break. We got the alert segment coming up next.
Team Daily, where y'all at?
They're on the Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.
Hey, I'm Sergeant First Class Ferran Dozier. I'm here at the military base, and I have the sickle cell trait. Now, why I got involved is I experienced what they call sickle cell trait exertion. And I was doing the Army physical fitness test, the 2-mile run, and when I got done, I collapsed. A lot of soldiers and athletes have been dying at football fields and running track, and the family members have no idea that they have the sickle cell trait gene or that it's a trigger. So my purpose is to mobilize the community so we can find out what's in your genes. How will life be if we could prevent another child from being born with sickle cell trait or disease? And if a child was born with the trait or disease, that the family members would have the education, awareness, and resources in every city that they lived in. So tune into our webinar series and find out what's the count.
What's the count? What's the count? What's the count?
Welcome back to Sports Collective TV. This is a segment, NBA Alert, where we bring on the full desk, where we talk about these NBA topics, and we got the bells. And this is a new and improved introduction to the Big Alert. Shout out to my man Fredo here for putting that video together. Gotta give props. This is a new and improved version of the NBA Alert. I'd like to thank all my guests up here today for this.
It's like Family Feud or something.
Hey, we do have some bells here.
Yeah.
Let's get to the feud. Let's get to the feud,
man. So, the NBA is heavily considering changing their playoff format from going from best 8 teams in the West and the best 8 teams in the East to the best 16 teams in the NBA. Do you guys feel like the NBA should start implementing that starting next season? That's too long?
Yeah.
What's
You
too
didn't hit
long?
the bell, man. You didn't hit
You gotta
the
hit the bell, man. What's too long?
That's
So
too
prove your
long.
point.
Nah,
Wait.
I like how it is now.
How many teams make it to the playoffs?
16 teams.
16.
It's 16 either way.
Well, it's either way because it's 8 and 8. Yeah. So they would just combine everything instead of being
Yeah,
East
so
and
it's
West.
like
It'd be the same amount of games.
It would just be
same
rankings 1 through 16.
Exactly. Best
East and West combined.
So you don't have Washington.
So
you
it's
don't
not
have
going to be nowhere Eastern Conference?
Yeah.
Nah, so you might have the Lakers against the Wizards. In the
Yeah,
first
like you know
round.
how the West has 10 teams that should be in the playoffs, but they only send 8 because they're in the West.
And the East only have 2.
You're not going to get an 8 seed Milwaukee.
No more below 500.
Wizards.
No more below 500 teams.
You guys feel like they should implement that starting
Nah.
next season? No, I feel so.
I think it's time for a change. So let's bring it.
That's
so we're
right.
gonna make the 3-point line.
You can move it back all you want. I'm still hitting it.
You get a 4-quarter. I want to hear the
Why would we change
as a basketball
Why would you move the
Okay, hold on. One at a time. 20-second timeout. One at a time.
4 points.
What you got?
He said move the 3-point line back.
Yeah.
I was being
It's already back.
Facetious.
I was being facetious. Me like, why are we changing these rules on
Yeah,
how many
please don't.
games and all this type of stuff, man?
Creating a different opportunity.
Now, I
No,
get it when it comes to stuff like
Are they gonna move the basketball?
You know.
courts, make them
No, I
higher?
think
shortening the season. I feel like that doesn't work. That messes up the records.
It's not the same as changing the rules. You know,
That's true.
It's not
Yeah,
like they're
it
changing.
is because different teams. Like when East play West, it's different teams who play each other. That use Shaq as an example, right? Shaq could be out like 20 games in the season because he didn't want to play against certain teams. You know what I'm saying? So it's still going to have that side of it where you still got West Coast, Midwest, and East Coast basketball. Regardless, however you look at it and how you split it down the middle, it's still going to be that type of basketball. And I agree with the NBA 2B star. You know what I'm saying? Is that it's going to be more work. It's going to be more work.
Just think of
If you're going to do that, though, you're going to. Sorry. If you're going to do that, you need to change how much the teams play each other for the East and the West.
Yeah,
you
not
can't just have
just-
West,
No,
West,
definitely
West, and East,
One
East,
time in
East.
each arena.
Yeah, I mean-
you got to at least play 3 or 4 times so they get used to playing against each other. So when they come against playoff time, it'll be a good game, not just a blowout because they know their scheme's better than the next team.
But think about these matchups that we could see in the first or second round of the playoffs that we've never seen in NBA history before. Like, say, the Boston Celtics now go against OKC or the Rockets or something like that in a
But then
early stage of the
are they
playoff.
truly ranked properly if they're not playing each other
And
during
you got
the
to
season?
remember, he from Switzerland.
Aren't you guys making the case? You're making the case against what you're saying. You're saying that it's already unbalanced, right? The East is already. We joke around all the time about how
The
the
weak
East is
East.
the J
The
League.
weak
They
East.
even call it the JV League. Right. So if the East is already playing each other more than they're playing the West, right? It's already unbalanced. Why not
easier games?
Because it's
why not
really-
make it just the best playing the best? As
Because when you
opposed
look
to,
at it as sports, that's where in the hell you live at. You live in Boston. You on the East.
Here's my take, though.
Cleveland, you on the East.
It was a shame. It was a shame that we didn't
That's why-
see Denver
That's why
in the
super teams
playoffs.
have come to play because you
They
think
could
Golden
have
State
beaten
would
half
have been
the
where
West.
they're
I mean, half the
at
East.
if they didn't build a super team.
They didn't
You
build
think
a super team.
Denver
They
Nuggets?
did build a super
Yeah,
team.
they drafted Steph
Jamal
Curry,
Murray,
They drafted
you had,
Klay
uh,
Thompson.
you
They
had
drafted
Jokic,
Draymond.
you had Paul Millsap.
Hold on, one at a time.
How about we have 4 divisions?
Four divisions. Now we're standing in.
East, West, North, and
You
South.
gotta hear his point.
And
though.
the whole super team thing came about because
more like
players
college.
were able to negotiate their contracts and dictate where they wanted to go. The league are the ones who showed disloyalty and created this influx of super teams. And I'm just gonna go play with my boy. I just want to go over here and
Well,
get
that's
these
the
rings.
LeBron James cut and
But
paste
it-
program. That's what that started from.
LeBron didn't start that.
Oh, come on,
Everybody-
man.
But even if he
No,
did
it's the
do
Boston
it,
Celtics.
even
It was the Celtics.
Even if
The
he did do
Celtics.
it, even if that's not what I'm saying. I'm not placing blame on
I'm talking
either
about
or.
modern basketball.
I'm saying that the business aspect of sports has taken over. So team players are not thinking in that competitive nature, like how the Jordan era was, where I want to play the best and compete. These dudes are trying to get their bag. These dudes are trying to.
Not be
There's no.
injured.
It's not about competitiveness anymore.
Well, if you take it down to a notch, even to like AAU or even take it to like the LABC, these guys want to play with each other. not against each other no more. It used to be, like you said, the old way, where I just want to play against the best, and play my heart out. Now I want to play with this dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm following him on Instagram. The whole social media, everything has changed. The way people market themselves has changed. Name more partners now than it was in my day when I played hoop. You just wanted to play and beat the dude next to you. You didn't really want to play with him.
You don't think money's related?
It's not a lot of rivalry.
May I say something?
Go ahead.
Here's the point. At the end of the day, it's about money.
That's right.
When I was younger, I remember when Willie Mays got $125,000 for playing, and he was getting as much as the president. And now salaries have skyrocketed. I remember when
the gin and the cotton.
no, not so much that. But I remember when the boxing, he got $23 million. That was unheard of. And so now it's all about these other cities, these other towns, these other places getting a bit of the revenue here. We've got that. That's what it's all about. It's about bringing as many teams as we can. What's the people thinking? To get in the playoffs, because playoffs means people are going to come see the playoffs, and playoffs means money. And that's what it's about.
So you'd only want to see the best teams go ahead.
But
that's a good point, by the way.
But his point is, if LeBron's getting what he's getting, what is the Lakers organization getting? And that's what's driving. That's what's driving the force.
Right. Meal tickets.
So if he's getting 124, 154, what is the organization making? Billions. So what is it anyway?
If I made another angle that I think we also leave out is that by players being able to dictate where they go, it tips the scale of viewership. So the East, nobody's watching the East unless it's LeBron playing. It's LeBron's playing. Now LeBron's on the West. Who do you really, for sports viewers, they're not going to watch the East as much. So how do you keep people watching it?
I beg to differ because people still have their favorite teams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you world travel like you do, and you young man, you've been around the planet a while, is that people, when you go to different cities, they still have their following. You know what I'm saying? I've been around a lot of sports arenas, and you could go to a Phoenix game, and you be thinking, I watch Phoenix, and they sorry as bananas, but you go to their game, the whole place is filled.
But what about the casual NBA fan, though? Who's not dedicated to it?
We're not talking to WNBA where it's a $6 ticket and nobody there. You know what I'm saying?
If I get through this one thought. Look at the Lakers and the Knicks for the past 5 years, right? Just to show you how the business works, back to what the brother was saying. This is all about money and viewership.
Every time.
Right? So the biggest markets are LA, New York, and Houston. For the last 5 years, LA and New York have been the worst teams in the NBA, but the most talked about. Why is that? Because they have to build those teams up markets. Because that's what generates the most money. It's a franchise. So all those small all those small markets are going to get their money because it's a franchise. It's one pot. As far as the owners are concerned, they're all on the same team.
Check this out.
It's not like Oklahoma's over there, LA's over here, and as far as the owners are concerned, they are all one team.
I think you're missing one component when you're talking basketball and building franchise and players. Most of all, players are just managed. They're not being coached. They're at the level of just being managed. I only need this player for these many hours. It takes chemistry. What this young man can tell you, no matter what organization I'm with, if I don't have the right people building in the right chemistry, you're never going to have a winning squad. That's why I said super team.
Like the 96 Bulls,
right?
What does that mean, though? Okay, we understand that, but how does that play into the question that we had?
Go ahead. The 96 Bulls, when they had Jordan, Pippen, Kukoc, Kerr,
Luke Longley, all that.
Paxton, like those guys, you couldn't break their bond when it came on to stepping onto the floor, doing the job. A, B, and C, and D on the 0-0-0 at the end of the game, and you guarantee the Bulls had more points than whoever they were playing.
But we're getting away from the point, and the point is what he said.
He said the players are only being manageable.
They're just being managed.
Well, that's not the point he's making. The point that he's making is he's asking us, what do you think about these teams broadening?
You got general managers, you got recruiters, you got all
players
these people,
saying,
players
hey, come play with me if you want to get a
play
ring.
together.
That's not what I'm saying. You're missing the point of what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And try to listen up here. Here's the point.
chicken.
I'm saying,
Chicken man.
I'm saying that this decision is based on people getting a piece of this pie. This pie is about money. You got the Lakers. Listen, no matter what the Lakers do this season, they, wherever LeBron goes, wherever the Lakers play, everybody's coming.
And watch.
And everybody, wherever he goes, they're
Forget
gonna.
everybody came this season and they weren't.
Well, that's not the
they
point.
didn't have
The point.
LeBron.
That's not the point.
The Lakers will always make money,
Right, but they're going to continue.
The point is that
It's
no
money.
matter if you're an AAU team, an LABC team, nobody want to see LABC or Drew League team. Nobody gives a damn if you losing. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be part of a winning program. So yeah, you in the number 1, number 2 market. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't built a number 1 program.
But that has nothing to do with the people going to the playoffs.
Well, let's put in perspective. All due respect to a guy who's not here, Robert Lamar, the Clippers.
Okay.
Clippers is the only one in the Staples Center that don't have nothing on the rafters.
Right.
Taylor Swift got something.
They have a division championship on the rafters. That's all that's up there.
That is up there.
Kelly, finish the thought. Kelly.
That's it. I'm just saying, it's like they haven't built an organization that has a winning program that they can get their names on the rafters. That's all I'm saying.
Who hasn't?
I mean,
The Clippers.
They
I'm just saying,
got
though,
one title, but that was in San Diego.
Come on, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, but so many teams are going to be making the playoffs here. That's what
No,
you
it's the same amount of teams. Same amount of teams.
You're right about
Let me
that.
ask you guys something.
No,
Do
but
you
it'd be
think
mostly on
people
the
would
West
watch the NBA more
at this point.
if you had the best 16 teams playing each other, or if you had this East-West? I'm talking
I
about
think
total
they-
Here,
viewership.
let me throw this down.
If you go back and do the numbers, every time San Antonio won a championship, the NBA loses money. Viewership drops. Whenever you have teams that people like the majority of of fans don't watch, that's why the Lakers are huge, the Knicks are huge. Those are big markets. That's who everybody watches. Let me give you guys an analogy. Let me drift a little bit. The Floyd Mayweather Conor McGregor fight. To pure UFC fighters, it was disrespectful.
Yeah,
To boxers, it was disrespectful. But Floyd understood that the people that pay for pay-per-view are people who throw parties and barbecues and invite their friends over and spend the money, and that's where the money is. So they didn't care about that, and he cleaned up $200 million. Build LA up. The NBA is a franchise. They're all going to get their mony. All the teams will get their bread.
TV
it has
deals.
nothing to do with that. So whatever's good for money, that's what the move is. And as long as LeBron carried the East. He carried the East. These last 3, literally carried the East. Now that he's gone, unless a bunch of players come to the East to balance the scale again, 16 best teams is better for money.
against each other.
I want better for money.
I want to pass it off to Oscar though for a sec. He had a good point
I
here.
like to see the best 16.
All right, so really quick, last year, like I was telling Mark, it was the best team in the second half. Point differential, defense, offensive wise, was the Nuggets. Once they got Paul Millsap back, they were playing the best basketball, and it was a shame that just fortunately they were just in the West. Because in my opinion, they would have been the bottom 4 of the East in a 7-game series with the team that they had.
The bottom 4 of the East.
I think the Timberwolves could have beaten anybody
in the
on the
West.
East, including. I think the Timberwolves, the number 8, that number 9 seed, could have beat.
I haven't heard no comments.
Yeah,
They could have beaten anybody.
I gave you your time. Now,
I'm the truth.
But
record-wise, they got to face the West.
Hold on. The last minutes is for the truth.
My bad.
The last minutes is for the truth.
Go ahead, Fredo.
Come on,
Well, look,
That's a nice fade, by the way.
Hit the bell. There you go.
That's a nice fade. Thank you. One of the things I understand both your points. I see it all. But one thing you got to realize is really not depending much on the squad, because honestly, New York, I mean, they are the biggest market. I haven't really heard much about the Knicks. I don't see much attention being spent on the Knicks throughout the offseason.
We're in a rebuilding stage right now.
So you're a Knicks fan?
I am.
Wow.
No, but with the Knicks,
Hold on, finish.
Go ahead. But now with LA, I mean, even though LA, someone made a point back here, I heard LA's still going to be LA whether LeBron's here or not.
Exactly.
The Lakers are still going to be getting the same numbers. They did get a big TV deal through Time Warner, Spectrum Sports, and whatever it is.
Reputation, history.
You're right. So, I mean, and the Dodgers also got the same deal as well through Spectrum. So, it really, it matters where you're at. Yeah, no one can watch it. It's still happening.
Let me ask you one question.
Go ahead.
Do you think that the Lakers still make the same amount of money just being the Lakers versus them having LeBron James?
Well, so wait. Let me stop that.
You just signed.
Yeah, I don't even want to answer, but
he just wanted to talk.
You
said the Lakers will still be okay.
Yeah, but with that point, is the margin going to be that big with LeBron?
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, I honestly don't think
Look at the ticket prices.
It might be small, a small margin.
You can't hear. I can't all
selling
hear.
trophy jerseys.
They're
I'm just saying,
talking about whether the Lakers should get more TV games than the
No, they
Warriors.
did. Look, there's 82 games in a regular season. The Los Angeles Lakers this year have 43 televised national games. They have the most of anybody. And last year they had 38. Look at with nobody on the squad.
They're
Will
talking
LeBron
about.
still be playing?
They're talking about. I saw this on ESPN. They're talking about giving the Lakers more TV games than the Warriors.
Well, of course, yeah, they beat them by one game this year.
Do you think that could have something to do with LeBron James playing for the Lakers?
All right. But the difference from the games from last year, they got 38 national televised games. This year they got 43. 25 difference.
Or Los Angeles?
Los Angeles.
All right then. So Los Angeles gets more TV views.
Hopefully, Ball will be.
No, Ball's gonna bring it.
Hopefully, Ball will have the kind of attitude from the chemistry we need.
So if New York was still popping, if New York was like top of the charts, New York will have 50 games televised.
Yeah, but you said keyword if they were popping, and the Lakers with LeBron James. Are popping. Because I'm just going off what you said. You said even without him, the Lakers are still the Lakers. Yeah. That's true because of the media. But as far as bucks and how much they make, having LeBron there, that's an extra $1 billion. If I'm just generalizing, like it's so much more money.
It's so much money, but not as different.
I'm going to do some numbers and bring
what's
some
ravioli? What's ravioli?
Hold on. So at the end of the day,
don't forget the LeBron haters.
It's worth it to do 16 of the best teams coming into the playoffs.
I don't think so.
Put the best in the playoffs.
Feelings get hurt here. Friendships broken, reputation ruined, all here on Sports Collective TV. And you can check us out every Mondays at 5. Call us in at 233-293-3375, and we'll be back here next Monday.
Hopefully
get
they'll
that popcorn.
Get them bags.
Let's go, Lake Show. Lonzo Ball.
Be sure and sell popcorn at
The Consortium of Health and Military Performance, also known as CHAMP, of the Uniformed Services University of Health and Science, known as USUHS, is conducting a study to understand a possible genetic link between sickle cell trait, known as SCT, and exercise-related events, known as EREs, such as exertional rhabdomyolysis, muscle damage, heat stroke, and or collapse. We are inviting African American men and women with sickle cell trait and their family members to participate. Participating in the study will require you to complete a health history questionnaire, a form authorizing our study physician to gather health information from you and your healthcare provider, as well as a one-time blood donation. In order to qualify for the study, you must meet the following criteria: be African American, be sickle cell trait positive, be able to read, speak, and understand English, be between the ages of 18 and 80, and currently not being treated for any mental or psychological disorders. Participation is completely voluntary, and your decision will not impact your healthcare. The results for this study are for research purposes only and are not intended to directly benefit any individual for confidentiality reasons. However, the results of this study are intended to help better shape policies and associated health risks affecting the SCT community. Participants may be compensated for their time. To join the study, or if you would like additional information regarding the study, please contact the study team by phone, area code 240-479-9514, or email sctstudy-ggg@usuhs.edu.